In this video, I'm going to discuss a topic in distribution management entitled Introduction to Logistics and Distribution. At the end of this topic, students should be able to first state the several definitions of logistics. Second, discuss the distinct stages in the development of distribution and logistics. Third, gain understanding on the importance of logistics and distribution in the context of business and the economy. And fourth, discuss the major components found within a logistics or supply chain system. Kasabay ng pag-unlad ng distribution and logistics ay siyang pagdami din ng associated names at iba't ibang definitions na ginagamit sa distribution and logistics. And what are these different names? First is the physical distribution. When we say physical distribution, this is the physical transfer of products from one business or entity or person to another. Meaning to say, lahat ng activities na associated sa supply ng finished product natin at every step ay included sa physical distribution. At every step means from the production line to the consumers. Next is logistics. I will differentiate logistics from distribution later. So for now, let's proceed to materials management. Materials management is the planning, directing, controlling, and coordinating the activities which are concerned with materials and inventory requirements. Taking a look at our definition, we can say that materials management includes storage and inventory management. Next is procurement and supply. Let's first talk about procurement. Pag sinabi natin procurement, this is the act of obtaining goods and services which is usually for business purposes. Ang supply naman, this is the quantity of products that is available to consumers. Meaning to say, this is the quantity of product that the sellers are willing to sell. This is the opposite of demand. Kasi sa demand, this is the quantity of products that buyers are willing to purchase. Next is the product flow. Pag sinabi natin product flow, this is the movement of goods from a supplier towards consumer. Realistically, there is no true name or true definition that can be applied to these different names. Yung mga different names na tinutukoy ko dito ay yung logistics, physical distribution, materials management, etc. Because the elements that are covered can be so variable. Meaning to say, wala tayong true name or true definition na pwedeng i-apply sa mga different names na to kasi nga yung mga elements na covered nito ay iba't iba. For example, every industry has its own characteristics. And for each business, there can be major variations. Saan nga ba sila nagkakaiba-iba? First, pwede sa strategy. Yung strategy ni business A is different from the strategy of business B. Aside from the strategy, we can also say that they are different in terms of size. Merong mga businesses na malalaki at meron yung mga businesses na maliliit. Of course, yung mga corporations, yan yung mga malalaki. And yung mga single proprietorship or sole proprietorship, yan yung mga maliliit. Next is also the range of product. The range of product varies from one business to another. Merong mga nagbebenta ng clothing, may mga nagbebenta ng food, may mga nag-o-offer ng services, etc. And aside from the three, we can also say that they vary in terms of market coverage, di ba? May mga malawak ang market, meron din namang hindi. Okay? So, dahil wala tayong true name or true definition na pwedeng i-apply dyan sa mga different names na yan, ang nagiging result is that we are using those words or names interchangeably in literature and in the business world. Examples of words that we often use interchangeably are logistics and distribution. Kanina, sinabi ko that I will differentiate logistics from distribution, and I can do that by using an equation. Logistics is the sum of materials management and distribution. Based on this equation, we can say that logistics is broader than distribution because distribution is only a scope of logistics. And logistics doesn't only include distribution but also materials management. An extension to this equation helps to illustrate that the supply chain covers an even broader scope of the business area because supply chain includes the supply of raw materials and components as well as the delivery of products to the final customer. Minsan, pinagbabaliktad ng mga students ang logistics at supply chain. In order for you to know their difference, we can again use an equation. Supply chain is the sum of suppliers, logistics, and customers. If logistics is broader than distribution, supply chain is broader than logistics. So among the three, supply chain is the broadest because it doesn't just include logistics, it also includes suppliers and customers.